Hello, I hope this message finds you well. Thank you for my new subscribers. This is Loriva, and I am here today to talk about communication. Communication is very important. It doesn't matter who you are, if you're a housewife, a truck driver, or a rock star. You gotta know how to communicate. This is very important in life because when you communicate well, you not only get your message across, you're not only understood, but you are liked a lot more. Because if people can understand you and they know what you're about, you're transparent and you know how to talk to people. Anyway, a message consists of a sender, me, the receiver, and the media. Right now, the media is YouTube. Sometimes it's the air, when you're sitting in a room with somebody and you're talking to somebody. It's the message, the words you hear travels through air before it gets to the receiver. The receiver then processes what they heard and you send it back and they send it back to you. So it's like a game of tennis. When the ball is in your court, you talk, and then you slam it back to the other side of the court. And then it's their turn to talk, and they slam it back. It goes back and forth, and, it can get going really fast, really hard, and it goes on until somebody misses. So you always want a tie game. Ace love. That's when you have a tie game in tennis. Anyway, that's just a silly little pun I thought of throwing in at the last minute. So what you are looking for when you are communicating is not only just getting your message across, but to be understood, to have a rapport with somebody. Say, for instance, you're talking to somebody about buying a car. Buying a car is one of the most important decisions you can make in your life. I'm sure it's in the top 10 decisions you make in your life. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the salesman knows exactly what you want, so you have to tell him. He'll stand there and think about it and say, well, we have this car over here. He'll take you over to the car, and you notice that the speedometer only goes up to 120. No, just kidding. But anyway, you notice that, it's a stick shift. You forgot to tell the car salesman you don't like a stick shift, you want automatic. So this is the rapport that builds back and forth. And by the time you have all the papers signed, money exchanges hands, you have a friend. Well, if you don't have a friend, you don't have anything really. After you make a sale, you have a friend. Hopefully, when somebody else wants to buy a car, they'll say, hey, I know so-and-so over at Carlotta's Car Lot, and He can swing a really good deal. You should go check him out, see what he's got over there. So, this, and when you, maybe 3 years later, you decide you want another car, or you want to buy your son or daughter a car for graduation, or you just want another car. So you go back and, everything is good because, you understand each other. So you buy another car and everything is great. This goes on. When you are talking to your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, your child, your best friend, your worst friend, you want to talk about something that is very important to you. You first should say something like, "This is what I want you to know," or "This is very important to me." Something along those lines, in your own words. Put it in your own words. Don't say, "This is what I want you to know." That's too stiff and formal. But if you gradually ease into that, then you are showing the person you're being transparent. You're wanting the person to know something that is important to you. So when you are talking to the person, you want to be clear about what you want. You want to be clear about how you want to get it, and where and how and who you want to do it, and all that. The who, what, where, when, why, and how is, should all be covered in one sense or another. Your son was supposed to take out the trash and hasn't done it. You don't start out by telling him, "You didn't take out the trash. Why?" Or you could start out by, the trash needs to be taken out every night. It's your job. If you want your allowance, or if you want whatever, I would really appreciate it if you took the trash out every night. And your son says his side of the story. "Well, last night I was really, really tired, and I had a hard day at work and a hard day at school. So I just didn't feel like it." Okay, so your next volley is, "Well, I could understand that, but you could at least have told Joe or Dad or even me, could you please take out the trash? I do not feel good." And that way, you get to the point where you say, "Yes, this is a good thing. My son is learning to communicate." You got to teach a child to communicate. You cannot absolutely just expect him to know, or her to know, or you can't just expect your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend to know what you want. You have to tell people what you want, what you expect, what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable. And I think that is, learning to communicate is more important than learning how to manage money. And I do agree that more arguments start over money in marriage than anything else. But communication, here again, communication is an essential key that you can put in a lock and turn it, and it opens a door to a better relationship. You never know where things are going to go. You can't predict the future. All you can do is say, well, we'll discuss things as we go along, as we get into future years. We'll just discuss things. If you get bored, you have to tell me you're bored, or if you're tired, I'm not a mind reader, and neither are you. So I will reciprocate and tell you. It's just the way things go in life, and as soon as you learn to compromise compromise is where somebody loses and somebody wins. So always try to get a win-win situation. Now, the win-win situation is you want to go to an Italian restaurant, your favorite Italian restaurant, and she or he wants to go to his favorite Mexican restaurant. Well, why don't you go to restaurant C, which serves both kind of food? I'm sure there's a place that serves both Mexican and Italian. Or there's one where it's right next door to each other, and you can sit out on the patio and the cafe tables and have a romantic night anyway. It's not about who wins and who loses. It's amalgamating, bringing the two together, making two decisions into one decision, and living the life that both of you want. That way, one person doesn't have to always be given up on the things that they want and need, and the other person doesn't dominate the relationship. There are other ways to do these things. It's called persuasion. Persuasion is the art of gently guiding someone or something to the point to where you can meet in the middle, so that both of you can have what you want. Sometimes this may take days of back and forth conversation, days of saying, well, you know what? I really want to go fishing today, and you want to go shopping. And you say, well, I don't want to go shopping smelling like fish, so let's go shopping at the beach, and then we can go to the pier and fish off of the pier. That's an oversimplified, non-compromise, win-win situation, As you go through life, you will find things are much more easy than they were, or they would have been, if you had just taken a chill pill and let the other have their way. You will be a lot happier. And all of this I say to you because I care, and I only can make the world a better place, one person at a time. You have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.